Hello, everybody. You know that I had been putting that phone number up on some of my videos, especially the news, saying call this number, leave a message, leave a comment or a question, whatever. And I was going to try to put a little bit of a video together. It's just an experiment. I'm just trying it to see how people like it. If I don't get a lot of response to it, then obviously it tells me you're not interested. But anyway, I did get a couple of phone calls here. I think I got a total of 4. I'm going to try to play them and put it together and make a video for you that maybe you'd appreciate. So anyway, let's get on with the first call here and see what they have to say.
Yes, this is Cody and Joy from Illinois. We watch you all the time on YouTube. And my question is, how long, once you thought about moving to Florida and the villages, did it take you to actually move there?
Because we'd like to move there. And we have a lot in common because I got licensed to drive a semi 49 years ago. The last 30 years I've been a CPA. We don't have appointments on Wednesday during tax season, so I can listen to Porch Sit.
Have a great day.
Yeah, we love you, Skip. Bye.
Bye.
Okay. Well, it's a hard answer. For me and Sue, it really wasn't that big of a deal because we kind of knew what we were going to do from day one. Anyway, by that I mean we've been coming down here for a long time. And I always, from the very beginning, I wanted to be a snowbird. I just thought that would be the way to do it. But as life goes on, things get in the way, and finances and just all the things that you can just imagine. And so anyway, we decided we was going to come down here full time. So I knew a great realtor in my area, and that's key for moving when you talk about time. The most time you'll spend, I think, is getting your house prepared to sell. If you're like us, you've been living in it for a long time, so some of the things that your realtor might recommend to get it ready for a picturesque look about it to sell are things that maybe that you didn't really think too much about. That's the way I was. But they make a long story short. For me, that's a joke. I give her a price that I wanted for the house. She agreed that was a good price, not too high, not too low, but just a good price for a quick sale. Because when I sold my house, the market for housing wasn't the best in the world, so I didn't want to dick around forever. And so anyway, I got what I wanted, and it ended up selling pretty quick. And how that worked was, and I told her, I said, Sherry, I said, you have to be direct with me. I don't take hints very well. You need to tell me exactly what I need to do. And I said, I'll do it. And I said, don't worry about hurting my feelings. This is business, so let's just get it done. And she said, you got a deal. She said, this weekend we'll have an open house. And she said, and I'll take the response that other people give. And she said, and I'm going to leave you a honey-do list on the kitchen counter. I said, okay. So when we came home that day, the list was on the counter. And it wasn't a big list. And most of what was on there to me, I thought was kind of pretty picky-unish, really. But I said, hey, whatever. And so I did it. It didn't take me but, I don't know, a couple of days to do everything. I did it myself. And then she wanted to rearrange the furniture in the living room because I had it there for comfort. She wanted to rearrange the furniture and things in the living room for show. So I said, okay. So we did all that, and I forget what else there was to do around there. Most of just what she wanted to do for show. I mean, that's their business. A good realtor knows how to sell a house. So we done all that, and then the very next weekend we had another open house. At the end of that open house, Sue and I went out to a dinner. She called us, and she said, I got some good news for you. She said, actually some great news for you. She said, I think your house is sold. We don't have anything in writing yet, but I think it's sold because I got 3 full price cash offers. She said, one of them is going to do it. And I thought, oh my God, maybe my price was too low. But anyway, I got what I wanted. We sold the house pretty quick. Now you got once the offer's been accepted, I think that's how it worked there anyway at that time. I had 30 days at closing, right? 30 days? So they demanded something, and normally after closing, I think then you have 30 days to move out. This guy was a Air Force guy from, I think, Phoenix, and he was moving to the Indianapolis area, and he had to be in housing by a certain date for some reason. And I said, I can make that work. So here's a choice you'll have to make when you decide to sell your house and move down here. You're going to have to decide, what do we keep? What do we take? What do we give away? Or possibly put in storage, whatever you need, your needs are. And that's the difficult part. You've been at 20 years in a house, 30 years in a house, you collect a lot of stuff. And I can only speak as a guy. I mean, as a guy, I had a couple motorcycles, I had Corvette, I had a lot of yard stuff, I had a lot of woodworking machinery, I had a lot of tools for working on things, and that's a guy. So I knew when I come down here, even part-time, but even full-time, that I couldn't bring all that stuff with me. I just knew it. And it's hard. And as a woman, you're going to be the same way. You're going to have to decide. I know you're going to have, say, I don't know, I'm just using this as an example, so don't take offense to it. 50 pairs of shoes. You got 400 dresses. Well, you can't bring all of them down here. You might think you can, unless you got one hell of a lot of money to buy one of these houses here that's got 2 or 3 closets or something in their bedroom. You ain't going to be able to do it. Now, there is a model, and I wish we'd have bought one of those models too, that has a his and a her closet in the master bedroom. I can see the benefits of that, but we don't have that. So anyway, you have to, that's the hard part, deciding what you get rid of after you've had it for so many years, and deciding what to keep. And out of the stuff that you decide to keep, how much of that can you bring down here? Or do you want to bring it down here? So here's what me and Sue did. We knew that our storage area down here was going to be a concern. It is for everybody. Storage in a house down here is an issue. It always has been, and it probably still is. You can't bring everything unless you want to just pack it in that garage. You just can't bring everything. And I don't recommend that because you want to keep that car in that garage, especially in the summer. The heat here is so bad, it will tear your car up if you just leave it parked outside all day long, every day. Eventually, it's just going to tear the car up. So we had basically what we call a 3-pile rule. That's just a figure of speech. 1 pile was a keep pile. That's the stuff we're keeping. The second pile is a giveaway pile. That's the stuff we're giving away to our kids, grandkids, next door neighbor, anybody want any of this stuff, just come and get it, it's yours. And a lot of that stuff I sold because you can sell a lot of stuff. And what I did in Indiana, I'm not sure saying I'm recommending it now, this time of year, where things are, but I went on, there was an app for Indianapolis area, and I can't remember what it was called, where in my neighborhood, I could type in my neighborhood and I could take a picture and I could put a price on a lot of stuff I wanted to sell. And I put it on this app. I literally sold everything in my garage in 1, maybe 2 days. Everything, all the tools, everything. They showed up, they picked it up, they brought cash, and they hauled it away. It was gone. I had no problem selling tools and everything out in the outside shed, the John Deere tractors and all that stuff. Now, a guy at work bought the John Deere tractor, and the deal was on that. I give it to him at a giveaway price. It was probably worth, at that time, when I bought the tractor, I paid over $3,000 for it. When I sold it, I used it for like 8 or 9 years. It was a great tractor. This was not your Lowe's John Deere tractor. This came from a dealership. They're different. Anyway, it was a great tractor. I never had a problem with it. He wanted to buy it. I said, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll sell it to you for $250, which is like giveaway price. And I said, but here's the thing. You can't have it until I mow the grass for the last time here. When the day before I have to be out of this house and gone, I'm going to mow the yard, and then I'm going to call you. And when I call you, you got to come over there within a few hours and pick it up and get it out of there. He said, deal. That's how I sold it. And then, giveaways, call your kids, grandkids, come over here, all this stuff. I want it gone. Take whatever you want, haul it out of here. My boy showed up with a rental truck from Penske. We gave him our living room furniture. The guy at work wanted to buy our bedroom furniture because it was so big and so heavy. There's no way I could have brought it down here. Besides that, northern furniture doesn't look good in Florida. It just doesn't. It looks like it's from the north, and there's a difference. But it was quality stuff, and I didn't really want to get rid of it at all, but it just won't look good down here, so that's why we got rid of it. And he called and told me, he said, hey, you going to sell your bedroom suit? Because he knew what it was. And so he bought it. He came right over and hauled it out of there. We didn't have any problem getting rid of stuff. But now, from the time that we bought our house, our first house here was a patio villa, which is small. And I think it was 1,160-some square feet. That was going to be my snowbird home. I never planned on living here full time. This is something that happened over a period of time. And when we sold that, we came down here, and then almost immediately, it wasn't very long, we put the house up down here for sale because we decided we was going to come down here full time. And this house in the Villages back then sold in like 48 hours, just gone. And then, of course, you got to close. And by the time we closed, I was freaking out a little bit. I felt like I was going to be homeless. I'm going to have a fat bank account, and I'm not going to have a home. So I bought this place because in his neighborhood, the way they sold houses, it was only 3 at a time. The developer picked the 3 houses he wanted to sell. This is a brand new neighborhood. Nobody lived here. And the 3 houses they showed me were all basically the same. I just bought this one because of the backyard. I don't have anybody sitting next to me and all that. That's the only reason why I bought this house. Is it the one I would bought again if I have to do over? No. But it is what it is, and it's just what we got. But I'm going to say we put that house up for sale, sold it, and we moved out of it in probably 1 month by the time we sold it and by the time we actually left. And we was down here within a month. But keep in mind, the house that I bought here, I bought 5 years before we came down. I already had a house here. Over that time, Sue would fly down here sometimes because she loved it down here, and she didn't work. She was retired. I was still working. So she would come down here, and when she was down here, she would go to the thrift stores and furniture stores, and I don't even know what all stores, and she would buy furniture for the house. We already had a bedroom suite in the house. The Villages at one time, what you call city furniture down here, the Villages at one time owned all that. And it was called something else, Southern Lifestyles or something like that. I think that's what it was, Southern Lifestyles. And the Villages, when they owned that, when I say the Villages, I mean the developer, he owned that store. And when you would call that store and give them a model of your house, they knew exactly what would go in that house. They knew what would fit, what was too big, what was too small. They knew. And then we bought it online. Once again, we bought our house online. That was scary. And then we bought this furniture online because I told Sue, and let me tell you also, if you buy something here, online or whatever, there's really only one thing you need in that house right away. Only one, because I know how it is here. You don't need food. You can go to any restaurant around here all day long. You got all the stuff you want here, but you need a bed. You got to have a bed to sleep in. That's really all you need right away. And so we called the lifestyle store. She did. They took her online, and they give her a list of all these things that would fit in our bedroom and the mattresses and all that kind of stuff. And so that's how she bought it. And then she told the guy, she said, we're not down there. How do we get it delivered to the house? He says, call your realtor. And he said, they'll open the door for us. He said, we'll be glad to put it in your bedroom for you. No big deal. And we'll set it up. So she told him what to do. Where to put the bed, where to put the end tables, where to put this. It's all pretty self-explanatory. Anyway, but she did. So when I came down on vacation to see what all we were doing, everything was in place. The bed was exactly where she wanted it to be. No big deal. When the Villages owned that furniture store, that was a pretty good furniture store. City furniture, I don't hear a lot of good stuff about it, to be honest with you. Now, I know there's going to be some people that's going to disagree with me, but I'm just telling you, overall, I'm not hearing a lot of good stuff about them. So anyway, a month. From the time we sold our house up there till the time we come down here, it was about a month with that transition happening after I finally retired. But keep in mind, like I said, I already had this house. It was already had furniture in it. It was just a matter of getting that house cleaned out and getting it ready for sale and selling it. So that's how long it took us. You'll have to kind of deduce that yourself. But the first thing you want to do, and it's going to be hard for both of you, get rid of your crap now. If you know you're coming down here, start going through your stuff now. Donate. We donated a lot to charity. Clothes that we didn't need down here. See, like you up there, you probably got a lot of long pants, a lot of long sleeve shirts, a lot of coats. You ain't gonna need but any of that. The long pants, get one or two pair if you feel comfortable. Bring them down. A jacket, that's about it. You don't need coats and stuff down here. So we donated all that to charity, and just move on and do the best you can do. That's all I can say. Let's go down to Costco to let's see, call number 2.
Hello, Skip Smith. I was wondering if the Costco is still coming to the villages. Thank you.
Well, thanks for the call. Yes, they are. Matter of fact, I was up there about, I'll say a month ago with Jose and POS 1, and we were doing something up there. I forget what we were doing. But anyway, we went by the Costco, and at the time that I was up there, they had the concrete slab was in.
That's the Costco. You see, there's another sheet that is October, 7 months. Man, I don't think so. Look at the sign. You want me to try inside the constructions? Oh no, you were right. Look at the walls. That's just fast.
Yeah.
We were looking at the parking lot. Look at this part.
Yeah, they're putting up the wall now.
Oh, these are precast, like the villages.
They got the concrete floor in.
Oh yeah, that's just
That may be done by October. And there's some more apartment buildings called the Willows.
That's faster than I thought. So you might be right. That's a big Costco, by the way.
what do they say, 44,000 square feet?
No, 44,000 is that corner. That can be. That's easily over 100,000 square feet. Easily. Huh. Maybe you're right. Maybe they're faster than I thought.
We'll see. I know there's a lot of people here that wanted to see that Costco, and there it is. I don't know, 44,000 square feet's an average size of a Costco?
No, that's way bigger than that.
You think it is?
Yes.
Maybe it was 144,000.
Maybe it is.
I don't know.
That's easily over 100,000. That's too much.
They were doing a lot of work over there, water lines, I suppose, and things like that. And they had a lot of equipment and building material stacked around it. Well, 2 days ago, Sue and I were up there for something. Once again, I don't remember what for. Probably went out to get something to eat or something. And we went by the place, and I glanced over there. I didn't go by it, take any pictures, but we glanced over there, and one of the walls were up. So it's coming along. Matter of fact, I did video of that Costco over there. We walked around it and everything and took a lot of video, but I think that video's on Patreon only. I don't think I've got it on YouTube, but I'll go through it, and if I can find a little picture or a little snapshot that I can get of it, I'll try to put it on here for you to see anyway. But that picture I'll have will be an old picture. The building they're putting the walls up now. And so that picture that you're probably going to see, you're not going to see any walls up. But yeah, they're coming right along. I talked to a gentleman here, oh my gosh, 2, 3, 4 months ago. I run into a guy that used to work for Costco in the offices or something. He's retired now. And we were just talking about it. And I was asking him questions like, what's the big deal about Costco? Why is there is Costco nuts? I just don't get it. I mean, how much stuff can these stores actually sell between Sam's and Costco and these other big box stores? I mean, how much stuff can they sell? And he was telling me, he said, it's like a cult. He said, people that love Costco, man, he said, you'll never talk them into going anywhere else. He said, people that love Sam's, you'll never talk them into going anywhere else. He said, that's just the way it is. I said, well, that's okay. I got no problem with it. Around here, it's about traffic. how much traffic are we going to be able to take? Because traffic around here is starting to get to the point it's getting on people's nerves anyway. And I said, when are we going to open that? I keep hearing all kinds of opening dates, and everybody's all over the place. They're just kind of guessing. They say early summer, and then some say late summer. And he said, take it for what it's worth, he said that Costco has a reputation for opening up new stores in October. So I'm just guessing that this coming October, that Costco store should be open. Now, I did see a comment on one of my videos, actually. Might have been on Patreon, I'm not sure. And they said that the store is earmarked to open, I think she said, in September. So we'll see. I don't know. But yeah, the Costco store definitely is coming. It's going up. It's going up as we speak. Let's go to call number 3.
Mr. Smith, good morning. This is I'm calling for your partner member, Sherry Schwab, and want you to know that we really, truly appreciate your show. So look forward to listening to you and watching you on YouTube on Wednesdays as well as the Friday news. We hope that you're keeping the shows both strong, and we wish you good health and happiness. I also wanted to know if you would be interested in getting a Trump 2024 hat that we tried to mail to you, but we had the wrong address and it came back. If you would like us to send that to you, if you can give Sherry a call back, and if you give us your address, we'll be more than happy to send that. And we wish you a good week, and stay warm in the cold, and we want you to know that we truly appreciate you and everything that you do down there for the information from the villages. Thank you, sir.
Well, I'm not going to list that Sherry's number on here, but my P.O. box number, mailing address is good. We got some stuff in there yesterday. I think somebody sent me a birthday card or something. But it's in the description box below on every video. It's, as a matter of fact, I've done a couple of videos where at the bottom of the video, it showed the mailing address and everything. I mean, I put it out there 2 or 3 times because I've gotten some email about it. It's not a hard thing to find. It's on every video in the description box. And then on some of the videos, like I said, the P.O. box is on the video itself down below. But it's P.O. Box 337, Wildwood, Florida, 34785. That's my P.O. box. So you can mail that hat there, and absolutely, I'll take that Trump hat. The only one I got now is the one that somebody for Trump sent it to me a long time ago. It's a 2020 hat. Somebody mailed me that. I don't even know who mailed me that, but yeah. My channel has always been from day one, and for those of you that don't know, I'm the longest full-time YouTuber here. I was the only YouTuber for many years. I've always said my channel is to help those to get the full picture of how to do things here. And what got us started was our first house down here anyway. It might have been a normal thing to do, but in Indiana, it was not. I was kind of confused of how we was going to do this house because I couldn't just take a vacation when I wanted to. UPS was in charge of that. I just can't say I'm taking off. And they said, well, we'll just do it over the internet. You got a computer? I said, yeah. And I'm not computer literate at all back then. I'm better now, but I wasn't at all back then. Well, we'll just do it on the internet. Just make sure you got a good printer, make sure you got some ink, and we'll do everything over the internet. We'll buy it, we'll transfer the money, we'll do all this stuff on the internet. And my mind just goes, and I mean, I don't know, because I didn't understand it. It was just like sending the money. I think the first house we bought, and we paid cash for it. I pulled my money out of the 401k after the first housing debacle. This one's just coming up. It's not the first rodeo for anybody my age. And I think I paid, I want to say $135 or $140 for the very first house. Houses were cheap, prices were cheaper back then. And yeah, I just, well, when we hit this button, the money, the numbers in the account disappears. And it just goes, in my mind, it just goes out there. And then they call you up or they send you an email on the other end letting you know that they received it in their account. Once that's done, then the process moves on pretty quick. And as I'm sitting there, my mind says, well, the money left here and it went out to the Twilight Zone out there somewhere. And if they don't get it, where does it get lost out here in space somewhere? How do you get it back? That was just me. I just didn't know. But anyway, that was one of our first videos, actually. I mean, decent videos where we were explaining exactly how that process worked from the time we did it. I wish I had a video back then, but back then I didn't. But from the time we did it, the time we got the emails and the bank accounts and all that kind of stuff, till when FedEx showed up at the front door with the paperwork, sign, initial, put it back in the FedEx form, hand it back, and then they sent it back down here. All that was done within 48 hours. And then I got a call from my real estate guy telling me that the keys and the remote control box and everything was in the at that time, Villages Hotel desk. Where that is what you would call the Panera Bread in Lake Sumter Landing. That was all new. At one time, that was not Panera Bread. If you go back to the back of that room back there, there's a hotel desk back there that was still in operation at that time. And you go back there and you give them your ID and everything. They give you this big brown envelope that's full of crap. And then there's keys, remote control boxes, and everything else. And then you had to walk across the street to get your picture taken and to get your little your residence card. And that's how it worked. And as we picked up our resident cards and got all that done, because we were both tired. We drove straight down from Indianapolis. It's 15 hours of straight driving, and we had to go do all this after we got here. We were beat. We just knew that there was a bed in that patio villa. We knew there was supposed to be a bed in there. And I just wanted to go to bed. I was tired. And Sue was beat too. And I looked at Sue and got her cards. I said, well, let's go find her house and see what it looks like. And the lady in there, she looked at me with the strangest look. She goes, you've never seen the house yet? I said, well, I've seen pictures of it, but I've never physically actually, touched, smelled the house. I've never seen it. I've never seen the neighborhood. She said, oh my God, she said, I'd be so nervous to do that. She said, but there's more and more people doing that nowadays. She said, that must have been stressful. I said, it was. But I said, it worked. That's all I can tell you. So anyway, that was our story about getting our house down here and getting things kind of put together. Let's go on to the next call.
Hello, Skip. This is James, as in Saint, from Kalmar, Iowa. I'm curious, where did you get that cat icon in the lower left-hand corner of your screen? How do I get one of those? Thanks, Skip. Love your show. Bye.
I don't want to say anything, but I think that's Joe Biden that called me right there. I'm just joking. Sure sound like him. Well, that cat you're talking about, I got a couple of those cats and the camels and giraffes and the dog and some other stuff, it's on there. All that is green screen stuff. Back here's a green screen. And anyway, I get a lot of that stuff off of a website that you got to pay to get this stuff. That's part of the price of being a YouTuber, is paying for some of this stuff. And it's called Canva, C-A-N-V-A. I think it's not a lot, but I think it's like $12 a month, $15 a month, something like that. And on there, if you're on the premium level, and if you're going to make 2 YouTube channels and stuff, then yeah, get the premium level and be done with it. I know real estate people here that they use Canva a lot. And some people are better at it than others. It's one of them things that you can do all kinds of stuff with it, but if you get the patience, I don't. But anyway, that's where I get it, the green screen stuff. I get it off from right there, and then you can take it and you can make the cats as big or as small as you want on your video. You can move them around. You can set it over here. You can put it over there. So that's where I get it, right there. It's not a hidden secret. So go there, get it if you want it, and then you can always drop out. It'll cost you $12 to get it, but then you can always drop out. All right, this is what I'm considering about doing on these phone calls. So if you want to, I'll put the phone number on here again. And call, leave a comment, leave a question, leave a suggestion, whatever you want. And I'll go through them all. And when I get enough of them, I had 4 calls here, so maybe that's what it'll take, 4 calls of my long-windedness. and my long explanations here to make a decent video for you. So I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it's something different. I'm always looking for something different to do. I don't want to do what everybody else is doing. And anyway, let me know. What do you think? I appreciate your comments, and I appreciate all the suggestions that you guys do give. And with that being said, I'm going to get out here and say, don't leave your keys in the golf cart, and I'll see you all on the other side.